Hey there! Welcome back to An Introvert's Paradise. I'm Kendrick Kaiju, and today I'm suggesting that the cancelled Life by You can help carve a path of success for inZoi. Life by You. I know you haven't forgotten about Life by You, because if you're like me, you were gutted, absolutely heartbroken when Life by You got cancelled. And not even just when it got cancelled. Sure, that was a rough day, but I remember the first time that it got postponed, absolutely gutted. Because I wanted to play it so badly. It was finally something not The Sims 4. It had the open world. I remember distinctly planning out those couple weeks. I was like, okay, so Starfield comes out a week before. I'll play it for a week. Then I'll move on to Life by You for a week, and then juggle them back and forth. I was so heartbroken when I found out they were pushing it back, and pushing it back by 6 months. At first, my initial reaction was, oh my god, what? Is there no game? Was that a fake trailer? You guys gotta try harder if that's a fake trailer, because oh my god, the character models look awful. To the point I was like, wait a minute, someone was paid to make these. It's gotta be nepotism, it's gotta be someone's cousin, right? Yeah, sure thing, Cousin Rod. Not a big deal. I'm good at this type of stuff. But I digress. And it turns out, much to my disappointment, that it wasn't a fake trailer. There was a game, and that was the game. Oh no, there was a game, but it was just terrible. But with all that being said, even though their execution clearly wasn't up to snuff, there were great ideas there. I was super excited about the game. Mostly because it gave me a sense of freedom. Open world, multiple modes of transportation, and some features that we'll get to in a second that allowed for creativity. I definitely think that the Crafton team, the inZoi team, can definitely take some of the ideas from Life by You and take their own game to the next level. They certainly already have the open world, they have the cars, and they've got beautiful character models, so they're already on the right track. But I guess the first thing would be, they have the cars, but they don't have the multiple modes of transportation like what Life by You was going for. Skateboard, bikes. I know a motorbike is on its way, so that's great, but I see regular bikes hanging around town. I literally bump into one bike every single time I try to go and use the subway. It's a bug, it's a glitch. Hopefully it gets straightened out at some point. But with that being said, with all these bikes laying around, it doesn't make sense why we can't own one and ride one around. And I would love for a skateboard. Rollerblades even. Just more options to tell different stories with different characters. Real conversations. Now this is something that K-Jun has brought up as something he's looking into, him and the team are looking into. Being able to type your own messages. And this is one they really need to make happen. Because even though I really appreciate the new added feature where you can send the first text, not having control over what I'm saying is actually a little problematic. Because there was a couple of female Zois that I befriended. I was just interested in being friends with them. Because even in inZoi, I'm not a two-timer, I'm loyal. I've got a Zoi GF, and I'm just sticking to her. These other two were just supposed to be friends. And so I sent them a text, a greeting text. And I don't remember exactly what the words were, but it was kind of like really flowery, but also had a hint of romance in it. And the girls both responded with, I think it was wide-eyed emojis, with the word "what?" with exclamation marks. And they weren't wrong. It came across like I wanted to hook up with them when all I wanted to do was say, hey, what's up? How's your day going? So if they add the real conversations feature in it, it should alleviate such an issue. Hello there, platonic friend. How is your day going? And by how is your day going, I mean how is your day going. I don't mean how is your day going? Not so great, let me come and make it better. Sexually, of course. Go shopping. Now this was actually a feature pre-release, pre-early access, before we got our hands on it, that I hoped inZoi would have. Back when I used to play GTA Online, it was one of my favorite things to do. After a day of shooting and killing, I relax with a little shop therapy. And it goes a long way in helping create that realism, that immersion, where we don't have all the outfits available to us in our closet to begin with. I don't think it's too late for them to add this feature in, because maybe they have a mode, like a realism mode and a casual mode, like what we have now would be casual, for people who want to really be hardcore about it, like myself, I suppose. It'd be great to have to go in and buy the clothes individually. And also, along the same line, I know there was a video at one point in Life by You that showed grocery shopping. That's something I also wished were in the game. Again, some people might see that as tedious, but I see that as part of the realism. And again, that realism mode versus casual mode solves the issue for the people who don't want to play it like that. But at least with this one, even for those types of players, because there's the pocket market where you can order food and it shows up immediately, it would get rid of the hassle of having to go and buy groceries. You can skip cooking altogether if it's too much of a hassle. Even though I think it's unlikely, these would be two additions that, as far as I'm concerned, not too late to put in, and certainly would go a long way in creating that immersion, sense of realism that I think a lot of players are looking for. And at the end of the trailer, they list off a bunch of creators. An event creator, an item creator, shop creator, object creator, mod creator, and some of these are already in the game via the 3D printer, which for the life of me, I don't know how to use. Could never figure it out. And also, of course, with the new mod kit out, a lot of things can now be created. But even though this is almost treated like a throwaway at the end, but as far as I'm concerned, if inZoi implements a few of these, I don't think I'll ever stop playing. Like shop creator. If they come up with a shop creator, if they come up with a shop creator that we can just make any type of shop we want, whether to run it or just have it there where we can shop at it, I'm going to be such an unproductive person in life. I remember Sims 2 Open for Business. Man, oh man, did I lose some time in that. I remember having a bakery and just loving the place. I remember trying to get people to buy the expensive stuff all the time. Oh my goodness. I would jump at the opportunity to have a bakery playthrough right now. Yeah, now that I think of it, they really need to get this in there, a shop creator. It doesn't even need to be part of the free stuff. If it's a paid DLC, an expansion pack, that's fine. I've put in hundreds if not thousands of dollars in the Sims franchise in my day. I can do that for you too, inZoi. Just be worthwhile. And even if we can't run the shops ourselves, we need to be able to create shops to go and visit. Because when I used to play GTA Online, I wanted so badly for some of the restaurants to be open, some of the different stores, and boy oh boy would that have gone a long way to round out that game, to have more life stuff. And in inZoi, absent all the looting and shooting, we definitely need more life stuff. So they've got to have a lot of those. And let us create some of them. I know they've talked about it, K-Jun's talked about, there's going to be additional shops in time, but I really hope we can edit those. We can make our own. Like they have the McDreamed, well, with a few mods, that can be a McDonald's. Or better yet, a Burger Shot, or a Cluckin' Bell. And another big one would be the skill creator. Because if you're like me, then you play just the one file. Or bare minimum, you play one file until there's a new expansion pack, and then you start a new file. But that could be an entire year worth of playing, and after that amount of time, you usually have maxed out all your skills. So it'd be really great if we could just make new ones. I mean, think about it, in real life, there's an infinite amount of skills. We'll never learn all of them. Even if you tried, you could never possibly learn all of them. Because if we look at what we already have in the game, there's things that we could put a skill to, like driving. Instead of having fitness as one general thing, you could have cardio, weightlifting. Because even with something like that, There are more advanced exercises that require a level of skill to be able to pull it off. But I think you understand what I'm getting at. A skill creator would be great. If for nothing else, it just gives us something to always work at, and it will prolong any one playthrough. A trait creator would be huge in inZoi, and I would absolutely love one. Because even though what we have right now is great, it's definitely not perfect. The traits that we have now, in general, have suited my needs pretty well. I haven't created a character where I was like, well, none of these are remotely close to what I'm looking for. In general, it has been close, if not perfect. But wouldn't it be better if it could be perfect each and every time? Because right now it's not. The other day I was creating a character, and I don't remember which one it was, but there was a trait that almost everything about it was perfect. It was exactly what I was looking for, except for one very important factor. Because not surprisingly, I was trying to make an introvert. And the best the game could offer was everything you want except extrovert. I'm like, that would be a deal breaker in reality. You think I'm gonna settle for it in a video game? If I were dating a perfect woman, work with me here, just use your imagination a little bit. Or a lot of bit, really. But if I was with the perfect girl, other than the fact that she liked to go out all the time and do stuff and be around people, I'd be like, you know, it was fun. Up until we had to leave my house. I'm afraid you're gonna have to continue on this journey without me. You're real swell. Believe me, you're not the problem. I am. And she's like, yeah, I know. As she's moving her hands up and down to point out her wonderful figure. Lady, I'm a defeated introvert. That means nothing to me. Now scram, won't ya? I got some inZoi to get back to. A recipe creator? I was thinking about that today. One of my favorite mods in The Sims 4 was it called Granny's Cookbook? Basically anything that had to do with more recipes and more dishes that we could cook, the better. It would be amazing if inZoi allowed us to create our own in-game. It would certainly go hand in hand with a shop creator, because now I can have a bakery filled with all my favorite treats in it. Or we can open up a pizzeria. Because right now I think there's one type of pizza in the game. Well, if with a recipe creator, we can have every type of pizza in the game. And finally, if they were to incorporate a career creator, like we can have any job that we want, I truly believe I would never stop playing this game. As is, I'm probably never going to stop. But if you have all the things that we just talked about, plus any career we want, why then this might be the most perfect game ever created. You can do anything you want, be anything you want. Now don't get me wrong, I understand that it would be really challenging to be able to do it like now, how you go to the job and actually perform the job. I feel like they would need some sort of, you know that game Everywhere? Where you can basically build games within the game? You might need a system like that, so I think that might be a stretch. But honestly, I would settle for a rabbit hole. If I can just design the job and set up the promotions the way I want it, you know, set up the uniforms, if you will, just like what clothes you'd be wearing at each level, I could live with that. I think that's it. I think those are the really great ideas that Life by You had, but unfortunately couldn't bring into fruition. If inZoi could do it, I think you can see how it would make for a very amazing game. I get that it's very ambitious, but if anyone can pull it off, it's this Crafton team. They're a hardworking, talented bunch. If they can pull this off, then never mind The Sims. Even if there's a Sims 5, it will never ever compete with inZoi if inZoi incorporates Life by You. Alright, thank you for your time. I hope you enjoyed the video. It was a lot of fun thinking about this. I think we're moving in the right direction regardless. I think the latest update demonstrated that. With some time and patience, we're gonna have such a cool, amazing life sim game. Alright, I'll talk to you soon. You take care of yourself. I'm Kendra Kaiju, and you've been watching An Introvert's Paradise, incorporating Life by You's ideas into the future of inZoi. We'll talk soon. Until then, just make it through another day.